Hey everybody, it's Primus, and today we'll be taking a look at movie masterpiece Bumblebee. No, not that one. Or that one. Or that one. Damn it, Aaron! As much as I love to blame Aaron Archer for our too many Bumblebees situation, I somehow have it in my head that he's the reason why we got so many boats during the Unicron trilogy. I can't find any information on that, but in my heart, I feel it's true. So if that is the case, thank you, Aaron. Taking a quick look at the box here, now you'll see I did actually get this at my local Toys R Us before they went under. I actually got it on clearance for $80 back in the day. That's what this mess over in the corner is my poor attempt to get the clearance sticker off. I was actually running through the halls of my local Toys R Us right up until they closed, and they were like, "Hey, no running through the store. We don't have insurance anymore." Gorgeous, properly transformed stock photos all over it, highlighting a few key features here. Something of note, though, I do find that the rims here, they're shown as being painted in silver, but the actual figure has them painted in a more of a, I think it's Chevy's Midnight Silver that they used as an optional paint for their 2010 Camaros. Speaking of 2010 Camaros, it would appear that he doesn't actually turn into a concept Camaro as seen in the film, but a 2010 SS. Look, it's the second best we've got. He has recently been usurped by the 2025 re-release for the T-Spark line, 40th anniversary of Transformers. It's got slightly better paint apps and a more accurate yellow than this one. I've done the best I can with the color. I think it's actually mildly darker, just slightly, in hand than what you're seeing on your screen. But yes, not only is the model of Camaro different, it has the wrong shade of paint throughout the body, so fun. Alright, let's get into it. Out of the box, he does come with a set of full color instructions. Very easy to follow, though I like to try and figure all this out without the instructions and just use them for reference after. I find that the highlighted sections of the instructions are actually still pretty pale, but once your eyes sort it out, it's good. Bumblebee does come in a half plastic shell with only a couple of plastic ties to keep him down, so I just snipped one and left the other to secure him a bit better. Also included in the box, but strangely omitted from the instructions, is his blaster. It is shown for robot mode, but not vehicle mode storage. It's easy enough to do. I'm just going to take him, come to the underside, and I mean, this is clean, with the exception of the faux bent license plate down here. But you'll see two little slots right here, and two little tabs up top. So we're just gonna put that in, stinger facing the front of the car, and that is nice and secure, not scraping on anything. I did a little digging, and yes, as I was saying earlier, this MPM figure is cast in a rally yellow shade, and not the PBC-30 Sunrise that's actually used in the film. But the latter of those two is not a factory option, so it could be due to licensing restrictions or something. I'm not much of a car guy unless they transform, so I'm a little unclear on that one. Regardless, this is a beautiful sculpt that rolls very well. He's got a lot of weight to him, so he's pretty slow to start, but he goes smoothly. Well, whatever model he is gorgeous. With Transformers, it is, unfortunately, inevitable to have some seam lines, panel lines, but they did a really good job at keeping it as clean and tight as possible. Especially from a distance, you're not really going to see that. But, wow. Very nice. Of course, you've got to have the movie-accurate license plate, but this is just a marvel of a figure. I'm actually really excited to tear into this. This is one of my favorites. But before we get into that, I thought I'd show him off with a couple other products of his time, or close to there. Here we've got the Stealth Bumblebee repaint of the original movie figure. The colors are inverted, but here he is against your typical deluxe in size. So he is a smidge taller and just a little bit longer. You're looking at more of a Voyager class. The standard deluxe for most people's collections recently, though, is going to be Studio Series 49. Same thing here, he actually turns into a 2010 Camaro. Notable differences would be the inclusion of the antenna on the roof and the front bumper. That antenna is just present on here as well. The Masterpiece absolutely dwarfs this thing. It's so silly. But yes, this is a massive upgrade from the Human Alliance figure, despite being actually a little bit smaller than it in height and length. Just a wee bit. But this Human Alliance was the best of its time until this thing came along. That is the only reason this is not still my top movie Bumblebee. I'll blast through these next few to speed it up a little bit. Here's Movie Masterpiece Bumblebee with Movie Masterpiece Bumblebee, MPM Barricade, and this is a really good matchup on the shelf. Oh, I love this. Oh, goodness. Anyway, the rest of the MPM-07 movie Autobot cast, and if you want to see Ratchet in his 07 colors, then pay me. And as always, Banyan. Alright, transformation time! First thing we're going to do is come to the underside and remove his Stinger blaster. With most Transformers figures, if this is a step, I like to try to do it first. Just open up the door, and this does include that little back window panel. So just sort of bend it out of the way. Not too harsh an angle, though. They are on nice little slider bars, so we can get that well out of the way. Moving around to the back, we're gonna... actually, I was wrong earlier. This is the correct license plate for robot mode, not for vehicle mode. Vehicle mode should read 900 STRA, 900 STRA. There was a weird discrepancy on that in the film, but it's another one of Michael Bay's self-inserts. Most people don't seem to realize it's short for 900 Stradella Road, his former residence in Bel Air. You can look up his name and the address together and get a lot of results, but the only proof I can manage to get is from Observer. By mousing over the correct hyperlink, you can preview a 404 error page that used to show that address. Self-insert is fine and funny on occasion, but I do think it's starting to be a bit vain, especially considering Ladies Man 217, his birthday is February 17th. 217. Anyway, coming around to the back, we're just going to separate these sections here, being careful not to scratch the paint, and that's not automorph, that is just heavy. Now, usually I find transformations are done in kind of two halves, but this is on a whole nother level. Usually, though, and as with this figure, you will have something very leg-centric and not much to do in the arms, or maybe the other way around. But we're going to come right in front of these yellow pieces here and flip out these gray pieces. We're not going to move them all the way, just sort of clearance for right now. Coming a little further back, there is a lot packed in here. So we're going to come to this seam line just behind the wheel. Just going to move these two pieces here. Just sort of lift that up. The toes are jammed in there, so lift that out. And lift this bar, kind of just pushing through and around everything. We're going to now fully extend the leg. Make sure you clip it into place. Moving around to the outside, we're going to take the wheel and flip it all the way down into this little cavity here. And swing the foot all the way around. Ooh, there we go. Now this bit has two flat edges. We're just going to rotate that 90 so that the edge doesn't block the little channel here. And we will tab this little bit in. Make sure you keep that toe out. As for the car kibble, it's not. We're going to take this, hinge it up into the cavity here, collapse that down, and using this tab, go right in that slot. There we go. Moving around to the front, we're going to take this panel, push it in, and rotate upward. Same thing for the other side. We're just going to keep our finger right on this part, lift up, come inside, lift this, swing it all around, fully extend, and tab in the knee, straighten, flip, rotate, rotate, secure, clip it in, and collapse before rotating inward and upward. And the first half of this thing is done. Woohoo! Now, coming up to the top here, we're going to take these front wheels and fold them back to meet with the wings. And take these back sections and fold them down on a slant here, tabbing them into place. If the arms haven't managed to untab themselves, go ahead and do so, swinging them straight down, rotating, and bringing up. Swing down, rotate, and bring up. If I could save the head reveal for last, I would, but unfortunately, as it stands, we gotta press in the front here and gently bring it up, providing support from underneath while pushing it down into place, flush. Alright, it's time for my favorite part of this. This is wild. I mean, of course, we've based a few things on it now, but this was groundbreaking. Fold, 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 bring the windows up, flip around, and take this whole chunk here. We're going to bring that up and under, getting that tucked just under the headlight pegs. From there, folding, collapsing, and connecting everything. And we're going to have a little tab on this gray bit. It's going to go right in this metal bar here. Brilliant. Come around to the front and tab this in just under the front bumper before moving the pegs. I'm going to take these and just kind of shimmy them a bit. Now we'll come back to these gray flaps from earlier. They have both a hole and a slot in it. And when you know, we've got a peg and a tab. So we're going to get that just behind the front bumper and get that locked right into place. And it is pretty secure. Same for the other side. Might have to squish it just a little bit, but it's there. Coming to the arms now, we're going to come to the front, lift up, and push down on this peg, flipping the hand around before tabbing this back in here at an angle. Same for the other side. Lift, flip, tab. And we're going to come to the shoulders and move these out of the way. Finally, we're going to take these yellow pieces and move his little collar just out of the way before posing the wings how we like. And there we go. And here we have movie masterpiece Bumblebee, and this is a beauty. Oh, I'm crazy about this figure. It is one of my most transformed to date, including anything I had as a kid. This is such a phenomenal representation of him. He's got, I mean, there's a little bit of mess here, but really, you just go blind to it. Everything else is so clean, smooth, and very accurate. If you're seeing that, he's just at the wrong angle. He really is cute as a bee, and he pairs super well with the Human Alliance Sam Witwicky, or at least the first version that came out. I The second one's smaller, with different clothes, so I don't really know much about it. The only thing I dislike about this figure is that his feet make it very hard to stand sometimes. These bits love to come unplugged, and if that happens, well, he's just got a loose foot. This heel is mostly for show. I mean, it does truly serve its function, but once this comes out, it all just flops. Thankfully, if you just work it gently, you can get it in there and keep him standing. I love how slender he is, too, with the elongated top. Everything feels just right on this figure. Now, with Barricade, I know they used the CAD files from the film to make the figure. I don't know if that was the case for this Bumblebee. Coming around to the back, we can see that Bumblebee does have included storage for his Stinger blaster. I think it's just a 3mm peg? It was pretty small and very easy to attach. We're just going to open up the arm, put the fist back in there, and while it does open up, we can just sort of slide it on. Just make sure that the two holes are facing the inside here, so that the arm armor has something to attach to. Next, we can come up to Bumblebee's head and lifting from the very center only. Bring that up, and we can double hinge out his battle mask before collapsing that back down. And here he is in battle mode. Now this is epic. And he's such a phenomenal matchup with MPM Barricade. Legit, two of my favorite figures in my entire collection. These two go crazy hard together. For further size comparison, here's MPM-3 He's lost a bit of artillery since the soft cannon reboot 80s. As well as the mainline Bs, who do love their battle modes. The rest of the MPM Autobot crew, and as always, Badinyan. For articulation, Bumblebee boasts a fair bit more than your average figure. Starting off with the feet, he's got toe tilt due to the transformation, all the way down and a little bit up. He's also got some side-to-side toe action on top of some pre-existing ankle pivot. You can even get some toe bend in if you untab this, which is not hard. It likes to do it on its own constantly. In that event, you get some additional outside heel movement. The official heel tilt, which, that's insane. He's got nearly a full 90-degree bend at the knee, 360 thigh swivel. Mainly transformation, but you do have some shifting and rotating leg armor. The legs can go forward all the way up, and back quite a good bit, but you're just going to eventually run into the backpack. No way around that. But they can indeed go all the way around. That is quite the range of movement there. As well as being able to do the splits, assuming his leg armor is pushed out of the way. He sports 360 degrees at the waist, and yet again, you have to watch out for the leg armor getting caught on things. I know it's transformation, but I am going to count the shifting chest armor for possible emoting. Shoulder armor can go in and out, and the arm assembly itself does raise a good bit, but the shoulder joint, once this armor is raised, can go quite far. Once again, a little bit of clearance issues due to the design, but the shoulders can go 360. You just have to bend things out of the way. 360, just above the elbow, with a pretty decent bend. The hands move 360, and you can give them a little bit of in and out if you lightly untab them, as you saw earlier with the hand cannon. Bumblebee also sports 4 double-jointed fingers on each hand, though the last 2 are molded together, but you can still get some good expressional range out of them. Of course, his wheels still spin, but his wings can actually emote. They are on this double hinge system, allowing the wheels to move with them, but they can go quite a bit up and even down if he's a little sad. Poor baby. As well as being able to flap as if he could do anything with them. Finally, coming to his head assembly, his collar bits are on ball joints and can theoretically move 360, but his giant face would get in the way, as well as being able to move up and down quite a good bit. Look at those cute, gleaming eyes. I swear he almost has pupils in there. Oh, that is so nice. He's that sort of cute ugly, like a pug. I can't help but love him. I love his light piping. I really miss it. Please bring it back. Look, it's really unintrusive on him, too. He barely has a little pipe through here, and that's just enough to spread it where it needs to go. His head is actually hinged upward, and he can look... The head can act like it's on a ball joint thanks to the neck swivel, but I mean, the neck swivels. It's kind of weird. He's even got this tiny little Autobot symbol right here. It's so cute. Taking a closer look at the battle mask as well, you can see it's still a fairly accurate rendition of everything. Briefly coming back down to the appropriate 4 and ZZ454, it would have been really nice if they had made this cap removable. I understand why they didn't. A lot of people would have ended up losing it, and it really didn't need to be in the film in the first place. Poor Agent Simmons. Can't pee on me. Fake MP, 0 out of 10. All in all, MPM-3 Bumblebee version 2.0 here is a phenomenal figure. I absolutely adore this thing, and I'm a certified Bumblebee disliker. They pushed him too much, and I'm just not super into him. But this guy's really wormed his way into my heart. Somehow, despite having several errors, the real license plate, the wrong car model, the wrong shade, it hits just right. Everything else about it, just perfect. The only thing I would change is making these heels tab in just a little bit better. I set it down and it feels like it pops out. Even then, I can work around it. And the rest of it is just so enjoyable. The posing, the play, the presence. I highly recommend this figure, even to those who aren't super keen on the Bee. It is pretty pricey now, quite a bit more than I had paid for it initially. And I don't know if the price difference between this and the 40th anniversary version is really worth it for those extra paint apps. It does look a bit nicer though, having the appropriate yellow and some extra paint apps throughout the figure on the new one. It's a pretty big expense either way. I want to say you might as well go all in, but at least check the mold out if you're a fan of the movies. This truly is some of their best work to date, and it's been about 9 years. I'm firmly ranking this thing S tier. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any notifications. This has been Primus, and I will catch you next time. Take care. If you want to see Ratchet in his 07 colors, then pay me. Give me money. This big Billy, the biggest one, Billy, I'm gonna go clearly. Movie Masterpiece Sam appears to be the same size as the initial release of Human Alliance Sam Witwicky, though with a slightly smaller, much less painted face. I still think he might be just a tad bit big for this.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Man, it's crazy that MPM-2 and MPM-3 are both Bumblebee. Like, they didn't even try to do someone else in between. I just wanted to make a Toe Jam and Earl reference. Bumblebee hugging Big Daddy Prime, and he's just like, oh, okay, son. Yep. She's so tender, at least forever. Anyway. Bumblebee, that's his name, it's not Iron Knight. And the first half of this thing is done. Woohoo!
Yahoo, 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 yahoo.
Sorry. Armor. Nailed it! I somehow have it in my head that he's the reason why we got so many boats during the Unicron trilogy. I can't find any information on that, but in my heart, I feel it's true. So if that is the case, thank you, Aaron. Put your on notice.
Drinking Dr. Pepper, best drink in the world.
Actually, that would be Cheerwide.
Where my North Carolinians at? Hey!
For articulation, Bumblebee boasts, Bumble boasts. Nailed it! Seriously, look at this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The baby. Can't pee on me, fake MP. Damn it, Aaron!